I wanted to thank everybody for coming out to HonorCon this year. I think it's been a relatively successful con. It seems like everybody had a good time.
Yeah. I love you. You know that.
One of the things I did want to point out is that we will be sending out a survey to everybody sometime within the next 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, depending on how long it takes us to recover from the alcoholic stupor we'll be in after tonight. But I would greatly appreciate if you can get back to us within a week on those surveys. Basically, it's going to be trying to figure out sort of what went wrong, what didn't go wrong, what you liked, what you didn't like, where we can make changes and improvements so that for next year, it's better. I am pleased to announce that we have the very first guest set for next year. Tony Daniel from Bain will be one of our author guests next year, and we are working on others. More details to come. Info will be posted on the website soon. I don't know exactly when. The wonderful wives and significant others of the authors got together down here. They were confabbing, in case you saw. In case you didn't, you saw telling you that they were confabbing.
What? We did something?
They were judging the costume contest in the hall, and we have a winner. And the prize is upstairs. I will get it for them after the closing ceremonies. Which I also need to point out, after the closing ceremonies, we have an awards presentation from Third Fleet. After that, we have the TRM business meeting, which will follow immediately after. So for those of you who are not members of TRM who wish to stay, you are more than welcome to do so. And for those of you who want to go and do other things, you are more than welcome to do that as well. We will be dead dogging tonight upstairs in the con suite at some point. I'm sure we can dig up an alcohol bottle or two to help us forget all the bad things and remember all the good things, or maybe just forget everything. See how that works. But the winner of the hall costume contest is John Stump. Stump. Oh, he's already gone home. Okay, so I will ensure that his prize gets delivered to him.
Don't give it to the marshal. What was his costume?
It was a uniform. Hello.
It was a Royal Mantic or an Army uniform.
Oh, the blue bed sheets.
Yeah, the blue bed sheets. Honorable mention goes out to Zach White. I'm being told it was very close, which is good. That's what I like to see. Like I said, I hope you've all had a good time. It's been an interesting con for us. I would really like to thank David and Sharon for coming, Timothy and Anna as well, and Keith and Ren. You have all been fantastic guests from our point of view. Our point of view being the staff, so I hope that you guys have had a good time as well.
Thank
It sucked too badly. Nice to know.
There was booze, that helped.
We try to ensure that there's always booze.
And a tax deduction.
Yeah, that's it.
I can get that anywhere.
Any con.
I was going to think if I get the booze anywhere.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, you can't get the booze.
Yeah.
So anyways, I would like to hand it over to Dan now to do the award presentations that he's going to do. Some of these are for things like a reading challenge and stuff like that. So it's nice that we have authors present for reading
Wait, you
challenge.
need to, are you gonna do your charity thing?
Oh, yes, thank you. That was the one thing I forgot to mention. Thank you. So last night, for those of you that were not present,
See?
for those of you that were not present, we raised $935 for Big Cat Rescue, which is our charity. So last night, when we sat down and counted that total, I hopped onto Facebook and I posted to the HonorCon thread, and I'm going to be reposting it to the ManticCon thread, which is in May. We are challenging them to do better. So we will see what happens.
The gauntlet.
Pretty much. It pays on the contra for both.
So you're challenging yourself.
Yeah, co-chair for both, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
Shades of
cheating
the
because he's
SCA.
in charge of raising his, on his staff.
Dignity, always dignity.
You're making me think about Braxton Bragg, who was the commander of the post on the frontier, filed charges against himself as the supply officer. And I'm not kidding you, he did, and forwarded all the correspondence to Washington for action. And you just, for some reason, I think of him at this moment.
Who won the, oh, you don't remember? Okay.
And then, of course, there's always the SCA where the king of the middle challenged the king of the east, and the loser got Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Move to the east, became the king of the east, and said, we've been challenged.
Yes.
To answer the question, the winner of the first reader right is James Conison.
Literally a man with too much money.
Talk to me.
Before I hand it over to Dan, just the last thing I want to do to make sure that it gets done is I do want to thank all of the staff and volunteers this weekend. I have had the distinct bad luck of having to run a con myself once when like all the staff canceled 2 days before the con. So you have no idea how grateful I am for
So you got talked into doing this again?
You did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but when I volunteered for this one, I specifically made a point to View 9 that I would not do it if I did not have support.
And you
from
also,
the
and you also had a con chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to make sure that they all get thanks. I mean, they've done a great job. The minions and handlers have been
Have been
fantastic.
wonderful.
Yeah.
They've been fantastic.
You know, Jerry has done a great job ensuring that all of our IT stuff is set up. You know, the vendors in general are happy, so that's good. The vendor, I think Mark has been coordinating vendors.
Johnny and TJ, they
Yeah,
perfect care of us. They did wonderful. We like them.
excellent. And, you know, the gaming room went well, so thanks to everybody.
Mentioned in dispatch.
Okay, see, I've learned. I've learned. Now, if you can just put that in writing, that makes it
There you Grace.
But we're gonna be it.
I think they delegated it.
David, you're the writer.
I will-
I'm gonna be a poet.
I will make sure that happens. Now, with that, I'm going to hand it over to Dan.
Back over to me.
Back over to Dan, yes.
Handing it over and taking it back.
Grace,
Yes.
you should probably note that I know at least 2 occasions where people were dropped into head of something on arrival and stepped up and did it. And that's what RMN officers do. And so there's a lot of people here who just walk their walk instead of just wearing the white hat and the bosun's anchor and saying it. They did it, and a lot of people really justified the emphasis we put on leadership and commitment here.
That's why I love you all.
But I'm also going to tell everybody that the staff, like I said, most of y'all came from the fleet. Thank you. Volunteers that stepped up. Where's Mark? Mark, excellent job. TJ, he said, I know y'all got your plans laid out for next year already. So we'll talk. Everyone else, I hope you had a good time this weekend. Like I said, we're really enjoyed hosting everybody. And so one of the things that we did over the last, since January was a...
Louder.
Louder?
There you go. Just not louder, just closer.
Just closer. Got it. Is March? Okay, March. Okay. But for March of this year to just before HonorCon, we did a gunnery challenge. Basically, it's a reading contest between all the ships in the fleet. And Mike Romero, who's my fleet NCO, organizes for us and has set us some targets to go for with it. Needless to say, we've shattered anything we planned on doing to begin with. So the short numbers of it, is we had a total of 17 ships participating at the time before we commissioned the new ones this weekend. We had 152 readers, and the target was 1 million pages. And we did a 1.56 million pages read in that time period. From all aspects, be it from page turners to the midshipmen helping out with the kids, to audiobooks, to everything. They threw everything into it and had a good time with it. And it was fun to actually see everybody get into it and do it as a whole, the entire organization. Like I said, having that much of a chunk of active people doing it, really added a lot to it. So we did a set of awards. Basically, we have 3 awards for it: the Gold Sunburst for the most pages read by an individual, the Black Sunburst for the ship, and then for everyone in the midshipmen that participated, we have Red Sunburst for them. And so I am going to now, for Warrant Officer Johnny Eflin of the HMS Wolverine, who read way too many pages. This is 124,576 was the total he ended up with.
And that's a Marine.
And that's a Marine. He will also not be allowed to run next year.
No Marines could read.
Oh, right.
There were pictures, like I said, a lot of instruction and sign stuff. The ship that scored the highest for us, Jason, you're still here. HMS Wolverine won for the.
No wonder!
Wolverine turned in 370,608 pages as a ship.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute, so that means he had like a third of them all by himself.
Oh, by the way, Jasmine, their XO for Wolverine basically chased them all around with floggers and a ruler. Every email I saw coming from her was like, read more. Or I'll be unhappy.
Okay, they get a handicap next year. They don't get to count Johnny's.
Johnny doesn't count next time.
Right.
Well, either that or he's got to take 100,000 page.
Okay, there's the negative.
Or you get your own ship.
There you
I
go.
withdrew voluntarily from the individual competition. Can we do 50% of my pages for the ship?
We'll talk about that. Just so you know, Sonia Wolf has set up, Sonia Wolf did the patches for us, which I was very appreciative of. He got them out there for us real quick. Members of the Wolverine will be able to order the patches from him. So I brought one for you to see, and you can show off. No, okay. That one you keep, you're counting that. Okay. But the 3 members from Wolverine will be able to order them from there.
Okay.
Okay? Congratulations, Zach. Okay, and we have a group of midshipmen. All the midshipmen basically all count as kids in the organization. And they all turned in some reading of some type during the project. And we have a list of them where the Duchess was good enough to get us some shirts for them also. We have certificates and patches, and we had some kids add in at the last minute, so I didn't have all patches enough for everybody. But we'll give them to them. Let's see, we have Gabriel Tolley from the Vengeance. Haley Romero from the Agamemnon. Zoe Romero from the Agamemnon. Ivy Posthumous from the Wolverine. Evan Matheny from the Wolverine. Morgan McNeely. Morgan, and Megan. Morgan,
Megan, and Michael?
Michael, sorry.
I know those names though.
What was that last name?
Oh, there's Michael over there. I'm sorry. She's really wrong. But all 3 of them turned in for Salvin. And let's see, Catherine Johnson from Gaharis and Brian Lett from the Light turned in also. So they will all be getting shirts and certificates and red starbursts for all the participating children. Did a great job. So it's very simple. That is all I have. I appreciate everyone coming again. The skippers for the ships for the midshipmen, come see us. We've got the prize packs you can take back with you. You ready?
Member Toplar.
Or closer.
I think we can do that. Who said fork? Who said fork? Yeah, okay. I should have expected that. Again, like I said, thank you all for coming. It's been a great con. The dealer's room is open until 2. You can still buy more stuff.
And make the dealers very happy.
To make the dealers very happy, they have, I know they still have copies of SITs they're willing to sell you at Final Sword, and Event Horizon still has Cards Against Humanity they're willing to sell you, and Arelis Books still has plenty of books, so.
There are quite a few more autographed books over there than there were at 9 o'clock this morning.
And there'll be a bunch more about 5 minutes after this.
Yep.
There's only 3 copies of this.
Well, that means that 3 more people can buy SITs.
Yes.
So again, thank you all for coming. I hope you had a great time, and with that, we are going to give you all 5 minutes before we start the TRMN business meeting.